We are going to add type ORM into our Nest.js project. So this is a very basic Nest.js application, just a boilerplate code. So if I run it, so it's already running. So it would just render hello world on localhost. So this is the controller, this is the service, this is the module, and this is the main file which would create this app and start to listen on port 3000. So now in order to add type ORM, we need to add couple of dependencies. So let's go back to Nest.js. So in the as per the documentation, we need to add three things. The first one is the type ORM. The second one is Nest.js type ORM. So it would have some configurations for type ORM, and the third one is MySQL. Now in our case, we are going to use SQLite. So instead of MySQL, we are just replacing with SQLite just for making things easy. So I'm just going to copy these. So yarn add. So meanwhile these are installing. So we would create a directory in our source folder. So we need these two things, right? Entity and migrations. So, and all these things we are going to keep it in a folder named DB. So we are going to create a DB folder inside which we would have our entity and migrations folder, and which in turn will contain migrations and entity files. So let's create dir entities migration. So it would create source DB entities and source DB migrations. So here we have. Okay, so the dependencies have been installed. Now we need to add configurations environment variable for SQLite, which will define like where our entities are, where our migrations are, what database to use, and all those things. So for that, we are going to go into the code of type ORM. So in type ORM, we were just going to find a file in reader. So here you can see there are a couple of environment variables. So there are lots of environment variables, but we are obviously not going to use all of them. We will see what all we are going to use here. So for that we are going to create a env file. So in this file we are going to add firstly a type ORM connection. So this would tell you what database to use. We are using SQLite. The next one is, since we are using SQLite, we don't need host, port, username, password. For the database, we are just going to give a path to the file which will be used as a database. So type ORM database would be, let's say, dev.db. So it would create, from current directory it would create a data folder, and inside that it would create a dev.db. The next one would be type ORM entities. So this would be the part where your entities are. So our entities would be in source db entities file. So source entities. Now so basically if we just give it like this, source db entities, so it would pick all the files in the entities directory. But if we want to give some regex, like let's say to pick only those files which ends with entity.ts, then we would give something like star dot entity.ts. So this means that all the files that ends with .entity.ts in the entities directory will be picked up as entity. So we are going to use this convention. So all the entities would be suffixed by the word entity in it. So the migrations. So again, for the migrations, we will include everything which is in our source DB migrations directory, followed by star.ts. So basically any file in migrations which is a star.ts. The next one, directory. So type RM. So in this case, we provide the directory, not the file or the regex for the file. So here it would be source DB entities, and in case of type RM migration directory. Now the need for these two separate things are type RM entities and type RM migration. And type RM entities directory and migration directory is that this will basically use your CLI would use this directory to create your entities or migrations file from the command line. So that's it. So that's all this requirement is there. And this type RM entities and migrations, so it would be used by your application to pick all the entity and add them to the database or configure them to use in the type ORM. So this is our .env file with pretty much configuration. Now we are going to create our first migration and first entity. So we will go back to type ORM CLI. So in CLI we are going to create a new entity. So we have already done all those things. So we will just copy this thing, entity create -n followed by the name. So let's copy, and instead of just user we would say create user table. So it would create a file in your sorry. So that's actually a migration. So let's remove that. So we are going to create entity. So entity would be a class that would replicate your table in a database. So for this thing we are going to create a user entity. So this would create a user entity. So you see the name here, right? So it's matching this name of entity. So we'll just go here. So just rename it to user entity. That's it. So now we have our entity. Let's create a migration. So for creating migration, we have to create new migration. Type or migration and name of the migration file. So basically, let's say create user table. So it will create a migration file. So importantly note that it has added a epoch time. So basically this is used to run the migration in the order it is being created, right? So because obviously migration will move database from one state to other state. So if the order of migrations are not correct, then you would face errors because state 1 would depend on the previous state and that would in turn depend on previous state. So that's how it is. So that's all we have added. So in this we have added a couple of dependencies. So we have added Nest.js type ORM. We have added SQLite 3. We have added type ORM as our dependency. We have get our .env file with environment variables that would specify our entities, migrations, directories, database connection. And then we have created this separate folder for entities and migration, and we have ran our script using type ORM CLI to generate user entity and a migration to create user table. So in next video we are going to see how to write query to create actual table with some columns and add those columns in user entity field.